Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Door Bumper Clear. I am Freddie Kraft, spotter for all three this week. Bubba Wallace, Dean Thompson, Gio Zero. Pretty solid week until the whatever we want to have that call that race that happened on Saturday night. It was a lot of fun, but there was a lot of spotting involved in that race on Saturday night. There was coming and going and pitting every 20 laps. It felt like, but it was exciting. Tommy, how are you today?
Good morning. You had a solid week. Yeah. I mean, I text you yesterday, nothing.
Well, I was not capable of operating my phone yesterday.
Well, here's what happened. Bubba wrecked in the final stages. Notre Dame wrecked in the final stages. The Giants wrecked in the final stages. So after I text you, I got silence. I'm like, I hope he's okay.
I saw that text this morning. It was like, Freddie's not having a good day. And I was like, I was having fun at that point. So I was like, I don't even know what he was talking about yesterday because I was having a great day, even with all that bad happening. Yeah. Karsyn, how are you this morning?
I'm good. Another fun weekend with the Cars Tour.
I saw a hell of a wreck in the Cars Tour.
Yeah, that seems to be
Parker, huh?
Parker.
Oh, yeah. Took flight.
Yeah,
that was
okay.
Yeah.
Joining us today, our special guest of the week. We just refer to you as the mayor now. Does everybody do that, or how are you, Mr. Jeff Burton?
I get called all kinds of things. So that might be one of the better ones.
How are you today, sir?
I'm great.
Thanks for joining us. One thing I did want to talk to you about, obviously, we kick it off with Harrison because obviously we talked about this, I think last week's show, how much making the playoffs means to that team especially. But then he goes out in the first race and really had a really solid performance. And you could see it in practice. They had a lot of speed on this weekend.
Yeah, they were fast there in the spring, and they had unfortunately they had the dreaded sway bar dragging the tire problem in the spring. And
they're in Dover, right? Yeah. They're in Dover. We used to have that problem.
Right. So actually, when the first tire went down with them, I'm like, that has every sign of a sway bar, right? Yeah. And there's no way in today's time. Well, that's what it was. Yeah. But so they were fast there then. So, yeah, it was good to see them. And it was I liked them on offense. They've been playing a little bit of defense lately. I liked them on offense. I love the call in the first stage to stay out and get points. I thought that was badass. And, so anytime you can go on offense, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I was a little concerned when they took the points, obviously, stayed out, and then obviously they had to restart towards the back, maybe forfeited a couple points in the second stage, but like the fact that he was able to drive back up into the top 10 and contend from that point, I was worried. Like sometimes you do that, you chase the points and then you kind of forfeit positions at the end of the race because of it. They didn't. They had a good run. The other thing I want to talk to you about nowadays, like your role with the drivers, like you're with, I think you're the kind of the liaison between the drivers and the industry, whatever. Like, what's that role like for you?
Well, it's fun. It's a lot of work, to be honest with you. It's drivers are no different than crew chiefs or team managers or spotters. None of them all agree on everything, right? And trying to understand their perspective of why they have an opinion and then best represent the overall, what they generally believe. A lot of them believe the same thing, but how they get to the fix can be different, right? So I think it's long overdue that the drivers have a consolidated voice. They don't, the drivers don't make decisions about rules. They don't make decisions about processes and procedures, but their perspective is important to be heard. And it was long overdue that happened in a formal way. And what happened in the past was kind of conquer and divide, because one driver goes in and has this opinion, another driver goes in and has this opinion. You have these varying opinions, so nothing would happen, right? So that's not good either. And the sport needed it. The sport needed to have that. So being the guy that a bunch of them came to and said, hey, man, can you try to make this happen? And that was cool. And we've moved the ball a lot. We do a lot behind the scenes. We don't believe that we have to be out in public talking about it. But a lot has changed in the sport because of the program. And I'm proud. We haven't done everything right for sure. But most of what's happened because of this has been good. And it needed it. It was long overdue, and I was glad to be part of it.
Yeah, we have something similar now with the spotters, where I believe it or not, I would tend to say what's on my mind more often. I kind of came from the school of Tommy Baldwin, so I would spout off, and it wasn't going well with it. We all would do that, everybody would kind of. So then the same thing. We consolidated. We have one representative from each manufacturer. We go to them. They present our problems to NASCAR, and it seems like it's working a lot better than me mouthing off at times because I'm sure I rub some people the wrong way in those points. But yeah, Tommy, how was your weekend, buddy?
It was good. Went to Bristol on Friday with the Cup car and had a decent day there, and then we went to Dominion. Jack finished fourth. Luke finished sixth. Struggled a little bit, set fast time. But, they locked up the final three championship races. There's 5 drivers left, and they'll go to where we go to
She doesn't know.
I don't know why you're
I don't
looking
even
at
know
me.
where we go to this week. Franklin County, because they changed the race.
Do they have Speedy Dry this time?
Yeah, I hope so. And then I think the dirt was better, to be honest with you. Then Tri-County, and then the championship races in Wilkesboro during the Cars Tour weekend with the Smart Tour. Luke's pretty much almost, I would say, locked up to run for the championship for Wilkesboro. So just get through these next couple races and more so prepare for Wilkesboro from this point on. You know, I would kind of like the 19 car and the 11 car, right? Just getting maybe having them look a little bit further ahead, getting ready for Wilkesboro. So yeah, it's going to be fun trip. We got New Hampshire this weekend with Doug Colby's going to drive the 7NY with the modified, and then Jack and Luke will race.
I thought I was spotting for Luke.
No, Luke.
You were going to show up?
I really,
No, you are showing up.
I'm spotting, but I didn't know. I thought it was Luke driving.
No, Luke's got to race. Luke's got to race Franklin County in a Smart Tour, unfortunately.
By the way, whoever has not watched that modified race in New Hampshire, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
That's an entertaining race. It is
Well,
wild.
at 9 o'clock in the morning, I hope everybody's up.
Well,
We're gonna wait
limits
till-
the crowd a little bit.
Yeah,
We're gonna
I'm
wake
very confused why the best race of the weekend is at 9 a.m.
What?
I mean, it's dumb.
Do we have any idea what the thought process
Just
is
the
there?
schedule, TV override, and everything. It's just like, man, I'd rather them line up on Sunday after the Cup race instead the whole world would see.
I
You know,
gotta
I
get
mean,
home on the plane. Sorry.
well, I mean, you can catch a commercial flight. You'll be all right.
It's just such a like you look. I looked at the schedule. I was like, this doesn't make. And they were supposed to qualify it like before. They changed that
Yeah,
since.
yeah, we do that
There was the
on
qualifying
Friday.
was like 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. And I was like, what is going on? What happened to this schedule?
Yeah,
It's a negative. I mean, they have so much going on up there that
Yeah.
weekend. You know, it's stuff going on the track
Yeah.
all the damn time. But the negative is they got to put them on the
Figure
track
it
at
out.
some point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bristol, pretty. I mean, we'll get into the tire wear stuff and the spot on, spot off. But I mean, just a wild race. Bell capitalizes on the last restart. Those guys on the front row were kind of sitting ducks. I think they were old tires, and it's just I felt like nobody could hit the bottom of turn one on a restart pretty much all night long. And you've seen Zane get in there a little hot. I seen him. I talked to him yesterday, and I was like, you weren't going to get beat off of turn two at that point. He's like, no, hell no. He's like, I'm going to go in there and hope to at least cover the bottom a little bit and beat him, or at least drag race him into three. And just obviously they wash up the hill, and Bell, there's a door opens for Bell.
That was probably the best restart all weekend on the bottom.
No question.
You know,
Yeah.
all from the trucks
Yeah.
to the Xfinity to the Cup. I was like, oh man, he's got a shot now. I mean, kudos to him, and that team ran good all day.
Yeah, they were in the top five. I felt like pretty much the whole race.
Yep.
Jeff, how hard is it to call that race? Like how much? Like I know you guys. I haven't gone back to watch it obviously yet, but so much is happening. Like how do you guys keep track of everything?
Well, Steve Letarte, he had a good point. Like at some point we were during commercial, and he said, "Okay, we got to be careful not to try to cover everything because we're not going to cover anything if we do because there were so many different things happening at the same time." And I think that was the right approach. I mean, we clearly showed when people were pitting, tried to cover that the best we could, but there was no way to get into every driver and team's day. It was just impossible. And so what do we focus on? What are the big picture moment things? That's a hard thing to figure out because every driver has a fan that wants to see what's going on with their car, right? And you don't want to leave somebody out, but there's no way to cover everybody on a night like that. And you just had to focus and maybe not cover it as long as we would like to cover it, right? Show it.
Yeah.
Don't even always have to explain it. Just make sure you're showing it, somebody pitting, even if you don't say anything about it. But that is a challenge for sure. It was fun, though. It was fun as hell.
You guys thought it was a good race because of all that? Like, what was your perspective up there of the totality of the whole race, of all the issues and everything?
So you know what it
comers
did?
and goers?
So what it did to me, more than anything else, is it made the bottom the place to be. And I felt like I was in the 90s, early 2000s, watching a Bristol race where you had to be on the bottom. That was the unintended consequence of having the tire do what it did. It drove everybody to the bottom, and it had varying speeds. So now you had cars that could pass. You had cars that wanted to be on the bottom. It's been years since I've seen that many people in the rear bumper of the guy in front of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nonstop contact.
I remember Dale was talking about this when we had this race, 2 years ago. That's the spring race last year, actually. That's it. Not only did it bring us back to the bottom, but it made it. The speeds were so slow that now you could get to a guy. Before, like when we were hauling ass through there, like you can maybe get to a guy's bumper, but you're not moving him. You know, you're not like we're all going the same damn speed. Now you could get to a guy, knock him up off the bottom, and then when you knocked him off the bottom, he paid the price. You know, it wasn't like he just got back in line behind you. If there was guys lined up behind you, he was done. Like once you got off the bottom, especially in the middle of those runs, Tom, you get up in those marbles, it was kind of game over.
Yeah, and you could see it would be like a light switch once they knew there was a tire issue. I mean, it was like, bang up, he done. You know, on TV, you're what? Oh, he's done.
Yeah.
I thought the 12 car during the end of the run, all of a sudden he backed up. He disappeared. He didn't even pit. Then all of a sudden everybody was having problems, and here he comes again. But then all of a sudden it's like, all right, he had a problem. It's like, it was almost like, if you thought about it at the end of the race, just to go hard, ruin your come in pit, come back out, go hard. I wonder if everyone's doing the math today and seeing if that would have been better by just slowing down, you know, seeing if you're going to make it. Because once you slow down and then said, I'm going, you had an issue, right? So I don't know what the final decision was. I think the 77, right? They made that decision, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what the last two runs of the third stage that's what we committed to. Just, Bubba, you run as hard as you can. The second you feel fall off, come. And it was, like you said, a light switch. Like, Bubba would be like, there was like a pit cycle started. Like, you can start seeing guys having issues. And I'm like, all right, guys are starting to pit. Be ready for it. We're 30 laps on tires, whatever it was. And Bubba's like, no, I'm good. I'm coming. Yep. Like, it was not like, all right, we're fading. Now we got to come. It was
as soon as the belt breaks, you're over.
It was game over.
Tell us what you feel. You know, we've had that issue. You've had that issue.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was what I was watching, too, is like, I remember specifically Eric Jones was sitting there in the crowd, and he was sitting there running along, and all of a sudden you saw him jump up in the second lane, and then next thing you know, he's like a half a lap back in just a few laps, that quick. And you know, look, that's extreme. Like, we don't, you know, we're all looking for tire wear. We're all looking for fall off. That's clearly on the other side of it. I'm good with it, though, because when you're trying to get to the edge of the cliff and operate on it, you're going to fall over it every now and then. I am proud as hell of Goodyear for having the courage to say, you know what, if we have this problem, it's okay. Because if we commit to never having a problem, then we're going to have no tire fall off, right? They got committed to saying, okay, we had this problem a year ago. Remember, they went back with that same tire. They had the courage to do that, right? Yeah. And they had the courage to come back with a different tire yet. That's what we need. We need the entire industry on that mindset. Like, we have this short track problem. Like, mile and a half racing to me is fun as hell to watch. It's the best it's ever been. And people can complain and about the car. Show me a time mile and a half racing is better than it is now. There's never been a time, right? The problem is road courses and short tracks. Yeah. The tire isn't the only problem. There's other things. There's other issues that need to be addressed. And there's a lot of work going into that behind the scenes. But Goodyear, I just can't tell you how proud I am of them for doing what they did, being willing to risk it. And I'm proud of the drivers for saying it's okay, right? Because in the past, you know, we'd had a few drivers that would get out and have a tire problem, and they would rip Goodyear up.
You can say Tony.
And that set us back. That's a
different type of problem.
I know.
We were having problems blowing out, not just what was happening there. It's a totally different issue.
But when you are Goodyear and you're in this sport and you've invested the amount of money, time, and effort and energy into it, you're doing it because you want your product out. You don't want the drivers out there bashing it, right? So the drivers have stood with Goodyear, supported them, and that's what it's going to take is the industry working together on these types of issues. And the other thing is the way you had the tire failures, no one wrecked because of it.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a different type of situation. And look, the industry knew with this tire, it was half the wear, half the amount of laps from the spring tire before it failing. We all knew that. It was going to be that. What kind of threw everything off a little bit was Friday.
Yes.
You know, and I think it had to do with the truck and Xfinity rubber on the PJ1, the way it reacted, you know, way it woke the PJ1 up. I know they put new stuff down and they cleaned the track on Sunday. On Saturday, I'm sorry. And I'm not sure if the PJ1 reacted the same, because if you looked real hard on Friday, it spread a little bit, right? It spread up a little bit, like a half a groove more of the PJ1. It wasn't collecting rubber, it wasn't getting black, but you can see a little glare there. And the other thing you got to understand, and you know this from tire testing, lot of times when you work on the left side tire, you help the right side tire heat and wear. So I think what happened a lot was when the PJ1 probably didn't react the same as Friday, the left side tires didn't wear as much as they did on Friday. So it put more pressure on the right side tires. So I think that's why there was a little bit more of an issue. But I don't know, man. There was just so much stuff going on there and so many decisions being made. It's just like, I was watching, our race got done pretty early, so I was pretty in tune with what was going on. We went back to the hotel in the lobby. There was 60 to 70 people in the lobby of the hotel, and they were going crazy on all the stuff that was going on. So that tells me as a race fan, the people enjoyed it.
Yeah. There was also a lot of catching on fire.
Yeah, and that
was the bad side.
That's a product of the marbles, right? I mean, essentially, I didn't deep dive into what happened with the 2 and the 21, but that's
a lot of people had issues, and that's such a tough issue with these cars because in that alleyway where the pipes go in there, it's a trap of that stuff. And I think again, we did a good job at Richmond of putting screens on the left side and the right side to not collect the rubber on the headers. I still think now we need to do a little bit more work in the area of that, and hopefully that'll get fixed. But again, we're always making changes after mistakes, right? That's usually our MO because we don't know, right? We don't know, and that's the way the tires wore. That's where it ended up in catching fire. It's not the first time it's happened.
No,
right? But it happened multiple teams.
One other thing that was different was this race, they sprayed the PJ1 prior to the truck race. That was the first time they'd done that. So that was a little different. And then we learned with that tire, temperature is drastically effective. Yeah. And we've seen it at some tire tests where you would test with the temperature and then come back and the test had nothing to do, like it looked like two different tires and it was just temperature. So that temperature difference between day and night, I mean, that's a small margin, right? So it's hard to believe that that's 100% what it is, but we saw it in the spring of last year, right? The temperature was the only difference between the spring and the fall with the same tire. And that's crazy that's where they were. But it's one of the challenges of, the tire's wider, right? The tire's significantly wider. And Goodyear has had to, they've had to make a major investment to know how to create this kind of rubber. And then the technology to put the rubber on the tire. They couldn't get it to stay on the tire for a long time. And so they've spent a lot of money to get here. I don't know, man. It was fun. I get it. It's probably a little bit too far. But if we can take nothing else from it than this, a bottom groove racetrack at Bristol, one groove racetrack on the bottom, and varying speeds in the cars produce better racing at Bristol. And we haven't seen Bristol. I'm sorry, this is just the truth. We haven't seen the Bristol that we all grew up with and loved since the reconfiguration years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we saw Saturday night what the fans want to see.
Yeah.
And bottom, one groove racing, varying speeds in cars, being able to move somebody out of the way. That's what we expect when we go to Bristol, and that's what we got Saturday.
I would assume, I'd have to go back and search the numbers, but I would assume it's going to be the highest short track race on Gluck's pole in the last couple of years. I know it was 80%. Our short track races have not been great since we went to this car. But Tommy, one thing I did want to ask you about, put yourself in a position where I know you help call the race at times. All of a sudden, you get an extra set of tires, which maybe was expected once you see in the beginning of the race. But how difficult is that to, all right, we're going to issue another set of tires to you guys. Now, how does that adjust your game plan for the race?
Well, I think they did it early enough that it really, during the issues that everyone was like, okay, thank goodness. And I don't think you had a choice Saturday but to come in when you had an issue. So there was no game plan on, hey, we need another set of tires. I was surprised that they only gave us one, right? But I think they gave it early enough that I was like, okay, all right, got another set of tires, in case we have another issue. Because look, if you had an issue, had no more tires, what were you going to do?
Yeah. Well,
you're going to have to pull. How are you going to run? You couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it was wild. And the one thing I think we talked about this yesterday a little bit, Tommy, with somebody else, but the difference in when they sprayed the PJ1 versus, I felt like we sprayed it on Thursday and Friday and got right on it. We had ARCA practice. Saturday, we didn't have anything all day long except for the race. So somebody said they sprayed it like 2 o'clock, and it just sat there not getting activated all day long. And then, the first activation obviously is the race. Like that we think maybe had that effect on.
Like I said earlier, I think that had something to do with it. I just don't think it reacted the same as Thursday and Friday. And we also noticed, I don't know if you noticed, Jeff, up top on Friday during practice, we never laid rubber down, right? Even when they went up top. But I thought it was going to be a multi-groove race because there were no marbles in practice, right? Everyone started going up there, and once they went up there, it was okay. Now, they didn't go all the way up, but they were high enough that was like, I think we're going to see some multi-groove racing here.
By the end of the practice, the lap times were leveling
almost
off,
even,
leveling off.
And I was like, all right, we're gonna have a top, and then, but of course, all hell broke loose in the race, and it just, you could never. The amount of marbles that were up against the wall at the end of the race, or at the end of each run, was really. I don't know how much TV caught it, but it was crazy.
No, it was filthy.
We showed it. We showed it multiple times. The other thing that confused it was the Xfinity race was normal.
Yeah.
Right. The bottom and the top were kind of equal, right? And the top was a little better for sure, but in 1 and 2, actually in 1 and 2 the bottom was better, and 3 and 4 the top was better, which is historically what we see there with as the PJ1 starts to wear. So everything looked pretty normal going into nothing. Trust me, I'm involved in behind the scenes on this conversation. Nothing that we saw Friday and Saturday.
Thursday and
Friday gave reason for a Saturday morning phone call. And I can tell you, most Saturday mornings with PJ1, there's a phone conversation. There was none this weekend. So nothing going into the race said we need to do something different.
Yeah, Tommy, one of the things that came out of this race, Denny loses a wheel, tire falls off. Some of his crew guys are going to get suspended. What does that mean for them moving forward?
Man, I think it puts a little bit more pressure on them, right? Because the normalcy of what they have going on it changes now. I looked at the reset and points. Nobody's safe again, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a pile of guys that within 1-2 points. So Denny's only 26 up. So I don't know, man. It's going to. I think that was a huge turn of events for them
with the Roval coming up.
Yes,
and Denny has been vocal about. Feels like he's better off not dedicating time to road courses, dedicating it to other things. A third of this is road course.
This round,
yeah.
So will that strategy work out? And you gotta, if you know you're going to go to the Roval, giving up points, then you damn well better bank them in these first 2 races. Yeah. And pit crews matter.
A lot.
Track position in New Hampshire is going to matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you look at his Darlington race. I thought he was one of the best cars. He had one bad pit stop, and you never saw him again. Yeah. It was just
It's going to change their philosophy a little bit. To be honest with you, it's tough, man. The backups are good, but they're backups.
Right? And does Ty Gibbs get hurt because of it?
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm sorry, if I'm Joe Gibbs, I'm saying, okay, if I've lost people on this team, I got a pretty damn good pit crew on Ty Gibbs' car. Sorry, Ty, you might, you know what I mean? Like they're going to have some decisions that they have to make, and I hate that for Ty, but that's just how it is. That's how the sport works, and that's how it should work.
And speaking of Ty, I mean, of course he makes the mistake coming to pit road, misses pit road, probably cost himself a chance at the win, but he had probably maybe his best Cup race ever. He was super fast, managed the race pretty well. I was one time. When we first started having problems, we tank. I said, it was funny because I said, I think the 16 was the first one to bed. And I was like, 16's got a problem. Then somebody else. And I said, hey, let me know. Is this tires? And next, as I said that, I go, hang on, boys, we got a problem. Like we're tanking. And then we had to come to pit road. But then, so we all cycle through, we all pit. And then Ty, team was like, Bubba, run 1720s or something like that. Like just get us 50 laps at 1720s, and we'll see where this goes. And Ty is hauling ass around the top, and I was like, well, just let him go. Like he's going to be burned up, and he didn't. Like he made that whole run last, and I was impressed. But I thought he just did a really, really good job the other night.
Yeah, it was good. It was. I think he learned a lot. But again, it's kind of like. Nobody's complaining about you guys having to back up times, right? Like speedway or fuel mileage. It's what's the difference between fuel mileage and tire management? Nothing.
Yeah.
Right. But it was all part of the strategy and what everybody needed to do. Some guys chose to go hard. Some guys just chose to maintain the same speed the whole run. Some guys chose to start off slow and go hard, and that's as well you comers and goes. And Jeff talking a lot on TV about everything.
How much I feel like that's for in a the purest form of racing. How much do you enjoy races like that where you got to manage your stuff and you can't just run balls to the wall and you got to have something left at the end of the run?
Well, if you look at from a personal standpoint, if you look at my career, if you look at the races I won, they were typically races that were challenging races. So I liked it. I like the fact that we go into it with a plan and then you pull the pin and through and everything's different. I like that because I think that's when drivers, crew chiefs, engineers, spotters, crew members, when you put them in a moment where they have to change what they're doing, that's when it's fun for us. It's for me as a competitor and for me as a spectator. Like I enjoy chaos in sports. I like it when somebody that shouldn't win the game has a chance. Because now you see the other team, the team that's supposed to win, you see them get tight, oh hell, why are we in this situation? That's what sports are about. So I like chaos. I enjoy it because I think it brings the best out in people and the worst.
Yeah.
It brings the best and the worst. And I like challenging situations for athletes. I just think that's what sports are about. And so I'm good with it. It's hard to explain all of it in my current role. It's hard to explain to the fans everything that's going on. Because there's no way on like Saturday night, it's impossible to explain everybody's situation.
And that's good. That was a good thing. Right? It's just a lot of going on.
Chaos is fun.
I think that leads perfectly into our first spot on, spot off topic. Chase Elliott says, if you give these teams the opportunity to set these cars up knowing they'll be tire wear, I think you could probably see an entirely different race. So let's not blame the tires just yet. Spot on, spot off, Tommy.
I think it's spot on. Yeah. I don't know what else we could do. I don't think it was over camber issue. I don't think it was an air pressure issue, which is normally the reasons why we have. Wait, wasn't a tire failure, right? This is a tire wear, then goes to the cords, and the cord breaks and it starts unraveling. Tire failure is when we are over cambered, we're heating the inside of the tire too much, starts to blister and it pops and you hit the wall, right? Air pressure, you start too low, you go out, you run hard. It hurts the sidewall, same type of situation, tire blows. That's a team thing. This wasn't an issue that we were having because for those reasons. So I don't really know what else. I don't know, maybe less downforce, right? Maybe we go to the short track package because
Why don't we run the short track package again?
It's coming, but it's coming. But maybe that contributed a lot to it. Who's going to say that once we do that, we won't have the issue again? We're going to have a boring race. We don't know. So, I don't know. What was funny with Chase, and I'm going to go off a little topic. He's getting interviewed. He didn't even know if he was in and out of the playoffs. He's getting ready to go home. He's like, yeah, well, I'm done. And I forget who. I think Parker was Parker. Yeah, somebody was. No, Trevor. You're not. You go, I'm not. He's getting ready to leave. Yeah. He's like, well, I guess I'll stay around and wait.
That was fascinating. I said this. I looked at Steve and we can push a button and talk just amongst ourselves, which that's what should be televised.
Always.
We would probably lose our jobs. But I looked at Steve and I pushed the button and I said, how in the hell can he not know? Right? That shocked me that he didn't know. But it shows you the different approaches of drivers. Like he just comes in, going to do his job and leave. Yeah. And like I don't need to know all that stuff. I'm just going to go do the best I can, and whatever happens, happens. And that's his mentality.
Don't you knowing what's going on and what around you and the cars you're racing and what you got to do, or you just think he just like, I'm going to go out and finish the best I possibly can.
That's his mentality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's worked pretty well, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, it shows you how different. I think he trusts his team, right? Y'all got all that. I'm going to go pay attention to this. Go drive the race car But he was like, I'm out. I'm going.
I'm out, right? I'm done, right? No, you're not. Oh, I'm not.
I think it's safe to say, Jeff, leading up to the race, I know from my side, our team, and I'm sure you talked to multiple crew chiefs, nobody saw this coming, right? I mean, I saw Mike Kelly, old Magic Mike, had a good quote. He's like, if somebody told you they saw this coming, they're full of
Yeah.
Like it was just something that you never like. We're running max speed, hard as we can, the first 25, 30 laps, whatever it was, and it was like,
based off Friday's
Yeah.
practice, right? But the tire data did show there was going to be a possible issue. It just didn't show up on Friday, which made people go, all right, let's go run.
I do think the difference between this one and the spring race when it happened was that everyone had that experience.
Yeah, last spring race.
And it was crew chiefs never forget anything, right? So the minute that they saw the first car, the 16 car, have the issue, AJ, immediately all the work that they did in the weeks prior to it about this tire could be an issue immediately popped in their heads. And then immediately, oh, hell, we dealt with this over a year ago. What do we do? Like, you saw it immediately. They were planned, they were ready. So even in the chaos, because it had happened before and because they had put it in the back of their brain, but it immediately came to the front.
Yeah.
What do we do? And that was fun to listen to radio communications. The drivers immediately went, okay, here we are. We did this in the spring. And that was part of Ty Gibbs, because if you think about that spring race, the Toyotas, the Gibbs cars, they were able to go and run longer, faster than everybody else. So I think Ty Gibbs' confidence that they could do that is what you saw early in the race.
Yeah.
That they did it over a year ago. We can do it again.
It was more communication from me to Charles this week, our crew chief, about like what do you want here? You know, like what, like we come out of the pit. I'm like, are we running hard? Are we now? What's our plan? So our plan is going to be, all right, run 17 flat. All right, well, what if the guy behind me wants to run 1650? Like, am I defending this guy? Am I not defending this guy? There was just so many different things going on both my channels. I'm talking to the box, trying to talk to Bubba, like trying to relay to Bubba what our goal is here.
Finally
like,
earned you pay a
I
little
was
bit.
getting ready to say he earned that bonus this week.
No bonus. He's an open team. He didn't get no bonus.
Were you in the recliners up there?
I was not in the
so
recliner.
So just so you know, I don't know, maybe every third race or half the races, I go up and sit around with these guys for a little bit, because it's kind of like going to the hairdresser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Gossip
like
City
you're
up
going to
there,
sit
baby.
down,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's where you're going to hear all the crap, right?
yeah.
And I know Carson's on us about getting to the next thing.
No.
No. I was no.
But so I like to go up there and get all the
Scuttlebutt.
right.
Yeah.
So no.
What did you just say?
Scuttlebutt.
So, and they're all fun. It's fun to hang out. So at Bristol, there's these
Recliners.
chained off areas, right? And one of them has 4 recliners, like old. If you could imagine the recliner that your grandfather would sit in, old brown leather, like this wide. There's 4 of them, pop, sitting up there, and I'm like, what in the hell are these, right? And I realized they need a break like halfway through, and they go get in the recliner.
Second stage, I
and
go
chill
over there
out.
and chill out. Yeah, he actually. You were up there yesterday. We kind of had a cool moment on the roof yesterday. Steve Barkdahl was there, so
he came up?
Yeah, he came
Okay.
up, and we kind of had a little moment with him. You know, obviously he just lost his dad, and he's going through some other tough times, unfortunately, with his brother. So like it was good to see him for one, and then we got to give him a card with everybody signed it. It was really good to see Stevie come and hang out with us a little bit yesterday. But yeah, it was that happened before the race too. I think
It's
that's why
fun.
you
It's
were up
fun.
there.
Yeah, it's fun to see that. It's as much as we fight and argue and get pissed off at each other and scream at each other, there's no garage that's more compassionate. No group of people that are more compassionate. That was cool to see.
I can't believe people willingly go up there and hang out with you, Freddie.
Believe it or not, we're fun sometimes.
Connor Zilisch and Justin Allgaier's pit strategy cost them a shot at the win in the Xfinity race. Spot on, spot off. Fred?
I'm spot on. It cost him a shot to win the race. I didn't really, I don't. Justin was the one that kind of really puzzled me because, like we talked about for ourselves, getting through the first round of the Cup Series playoffs was just take your base hits. If we just don't have any mistakes, we execute well, nothing goes wrong, we're gonna move on to the next round. Like that's all we have to do. We ran really well, obviously, but I feel like Justin and Connor can do this. Just take their nice easy days and get to Phoenix. I don't know why you're coming down pit road and putting yourself at the back of the pack with 80 something, whatever there was. Like they pit early, right? And Justin was
Justin's. If the car was better, Justin would have won. When that group pitted,
yeah.
Justin's guys made the right call. It was
At the
88.
the way it turned out, they made the right call.
Right.
But I don't understand why you're putting yourself in that position.
They weren't very good.
Yeah, but but that's what they were going to run top 5. Stay 5th. Don't put yourself at the back of the pack where you can get ripped by somebody else's mistake.
They weren't going to run in top 5 if they stayed out and those other guys pitted, because they would have went by them, because the 7 car they were struggling, and so the 88 was struggling a little bit too. But the 7 car wasn't as good as he was in the beginning of the race. So I think the 7 car probably in that situation, hoping for another caution, probably made the best choice, but the car just wasn't fast enough. I think they would have been, because the 00 pitted when Connor pitted, and he caught the leader. But the 88 was just too loose at the end. I'm still, like, if I'm the 88, I know it's hard playing Monday morning quarterback, but he had a buffer, right? He had those guys that already pitted, right? And he had probably some guys that were going to be behind him that were in points that weren't going to pit as well and take a gamble. And you knew the 19 was going to do the opposite of that. So he was probably, again, being the leader, and you know this, Jeff, being the leader is the hardest pit call to make at that point of the race. But to know you had a buffer, watch the guys that pitted 30 laps, 40 laps before that didn't really make a charge. That was probably the call that irks me, that would irk me the most, was the 88. But they were they did make adjustments during that pit stop to help it, and they got worse. So I think 7 maybe was probably a good call, because the 00 was right with 30 to go and almost caught him. Now, if the 7 had many more laps, I think he would have passed him, but the car wasn't good enough.
The moment in that race was the wreck off turn 4.
Yeah.
So if you go back and watch that wreck, who was involved in that wreck and who lost and gained track position with what happened off turn 4, that helped some of those guys that pitted, and it hurt some of those guys that pitted. And then think about how they lined up after that restart.
Yeah.
So that was the moment that kind of shuffled up some of those strategies. And I don't know. I mean, Connor had a terrible night. He finished 5th.
I know, that sucks.
Yeah,
I mean,
ruined his day.
This guy's awful.
Well, I know who's happy is his parents, because on Sundays and Mondays we have to all go over there, and then if Luke wins and Brent wins, it's a mess.
The best thing happened was him not winning, because that kid didn't need to be anywhere near a fucking sword. Like let's be honest.
Also true.
Like we don't need. Like he did not need to win that race.
Yeah,
like he's had enough problems in
keep him
victory
away
lane.
from all kinds
We
of
don't
stuff.
need to be anywhere near. But Jeff, the one thing I do want to ask you, like you're leading a race. I'm sure this has happened throughout your career.
Not enough.
But
the first part.
Your crew chief makes a call. Obviously, like Tommy said, it's a no-win situation, really, because the guys behind you are probably going to do the opposite. But what is that feeling like when you peel off the pit road and you look in your mirror and you see the next 3 or 4 guys all stay out behind you, whatever?
Yeah, it is a bad situation. I mean, I've been on both sides of it.
Oh, you have.
You
stayed out.
Yeah,
Southern 500, we pitted and the rain happens.
Yeah, you stay
Son of
out. Out and everybody pits or you pit, and I mean I've been on both sides of it. Look, all you can do is make your best guess, and you try to. I feel bad for crew chiefs in that situation, because especially in the Xfinity series, because you have a group of cars, and unfortunately they don't have the funding that the top cars have. You cannot understand what their strategy is, because they're living a different world than you're living. In Cup, everybody's there to I don't want to say everybody's there to win the race on a particular weekend, but their mentality is different. But in Xfinity, if a team that normally runs 25th can claw out a 6th or 7th, that's a win. And so you can't understand what their strategy is. So I think in many ways it's harder over there, even though less tires sometimes makes it easier. But all the crew chief can do is make the best decision he can make, and you just got to live with it.
I'll tell you the one strategy call, just changing topics a little bit, that I could not stand this week, and I got to call our old buddy Bruce Cook about this. Leaving that Butcher kid out in the lead, older tires, like Tommy, you know this as well as anybody because you're going through it. That kid is there to get approved for future races, and you're putting him in a position that he does not need to be in, where he's on old tires, leading a race, first restart. Now he's middle of 3, bouncing off a all the way through the field. Like, that was a call for me, Jeff, this week that I didn't understand why they stayed out, why they put him in that position. Just let him have a clean day, get through the race, and then he takes the bottom on the restart. And I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on here. Cole was, he did a good job, and he should be approved for anything because the kid's a really, really talented race car driver. But like, he was kind of just like, I think he had just gotten a lucky dog. pitted on that lucky dog. Then we had a caution, I don't know, 15, 20 laps later, whatever it was. He's the only one to stay out. So he's leading. We all put tires on, and now he is in the way on the restart. It's just, it seemed to me like a position that you didn't need to put that guy in that situation. I get it. Like sometimes we saw Brad do it last week at Gateway. We were staying out just trying to make something happen. But
that's a little bit different.
The goal for that kid that day was nobody even know you're here, get approved for the next race. And I thought that was a poor decision on somebody's part.
Yeah, those are tough. Young drivers, the best thing to do, in my opinion, with young drivers is put them in the best position to succeed. And what does that mean? And maybe they feel like they gave him some experience that he can late. You never know. But
there's no experience swatting flies.
It's very hard.
It was. He did not
They're
have fun.
faster than me.
He had about the worst 3 laps you could have at Bristol, I think.
Rough. According to Adam Stern, some senior team executives came away from a meeting with NASCAR last week with a feeling the playoff format will likely change for 2026. Jeff?
Yeah, he knows.
Can you talk about it? Are you
Jeff.
allowed?
Come on, Jeff.
Well,
give us some info.
obviously, there's a lot of talk, right, about what should what should the playoff look like? Should there be a playoff? There's a lot of talk about that, and there's a lot of opinions about it, and I do think that the biggest pressure with the playoffs is one race. Is that where we should be, right? And some people want to go back to 36 races. Some people want to go back to the chase. Some people, it's all over the place. But NASCAR's got a decision to make that, what do you want? What do you want NASCAR to be? Like, what is NASCAR? What are we? And the point system needs to reflect that.
Yeah.
But clearly, I think there's energy around changing the one race. And I don't believe a decision has been made, but there's a lot of decision around that, a lot of energy around that. I'll be honest. I don't. My mentality, and this is probably wrong. My mentality is just, for example, when the COT came out, the COT, biggest piece of shit ever in the history of mankind. I just thought it was a race car. I didn't give a damn. Like there was somebody that's going to give you a damn trophy. Go get it. Like I didn't care what the car was. And I'm talking to all these drivers, and they'll go back and they say, "Man, those cars in the car in 2001, that was the best car ever." I'm like, I don't even remember what the hell it was. Like, what are you talking about? To me, whatever the rules are, whatever the car is, whatever the point situation is, go be the best. Like I never really gave a damn what it was. I just wanted to go figure a way to try to win it, whatever that was. So I'm not the guy to talk to about the point thing, because I just believe whatever the points are and whoever does it the best is the champion. Period. End of story. Nobody, and I don't understand the argument. I know motorsports is different. I get it. There are a lot of things that are different about it. But if you want to crown the best team throughout the whole year, there are a lot of Super Bowl champions that wouldn't be the champions. And nobody says, well, they're not the deserving champion. So that argument I don't understand. I think the fact that in motorsports, there's a core audience that says, I don't like the playoffs because it's different.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that it's wrong. It's just that it's different. And I think that, and by the way, we should listen to them, right? We shouldn't ignore them. We shouldn't say, well, you're wrong. They feel that way for a reason.
Right.
So we should listen to them and understand why they think that. NASCAR's got a decision they have to make, and they're going to make it. And whoever wins the championship, whatever the rules are, that's the deserving champion. It pisses me off when somebody says Joey Logano didn't win the championship. They won the championship. There was a set of rules, and they went out and did it better than everybody else. So you may not like that they won a championship. I get it. I understand that. But don't take the credit away from them from what they did. I just don't. And by the way, Matt Kenseth won the championship when he won one race. Yeah. And Benny Parsons won the championship when he finished in the lead lap one time. He won that championship too. Like I don't want to hear that. And you may not like it, but that's how they crown the champion. And you shouldn't be disrespectful for the people that win it.
The thing that's really bothering me is my buddy Mark Martin. Now he's sitting on a bench, reflecting and looking at water and stuff. You see his tweet, whatever it was. I mean, it's really bothering him. He's getting out of his element. He's sitting.
He's got to be zen.
Credit to Mark. The one thing I will say about Mark is he's advocating.
Oh, he's at Bentley's right now. He's at Bentley's Saloon right now up there.
He's advocating for a point system that he never benefited from. Because I think if we had this system now in place when Mark was racing, like in the heyday of the Roush days, he'd probably be a multi-time champion, because he would go out and win the he was nobody faster sometimes. I don't know, but for me, like Jordan kind of leaked this last week when you weren't here on this show.
I heard.
And people just were up in arms about the 36 race season, and because I had told him right, it's not happening. It's not going to happen. Especially, I don't think TV doesn't want it. Like TV wants these moments. I think.
Hold on a second. I hear that all the time. And I want to be clear about something. And I'm in these meetings. TV doesn't make these decisions.
Yeah.
Okay? NASCAR makes these decisions. And NASCAR takes all the information from all the people that they can take it from. And they make a decision. TV is not when this format that we are currently racing under was created, I was in every damn meeting. TV didn't make this decision.
Yeah.
They had a seat at the table, as did drivers, as did car owners, as did NASCAR, as did the tracks. Everybody was in this room, and it was a great discussion. It was a great disagreements. Everything we should be doing in this country was happening, right? And we had disagreements, but it was all respectful. It was all and NASCAR made the decision, and TV didn't say, here's your format, this is what we're doing. That's not how that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that people think that's how it happened, I don't know where that's coming from. Right? TV deserves a seat at the table.
Yeah.
The drivers deserve a seat at the table. Car owners deserve a seat at the table. Sponsors deserve a seat at the table. The fans deserve a seat at the table. But I'm in the meetings, and if anyone thinks that TV wrote a prescription, here's how you're going to do this, that's it's such a misrepresentation of how this happened. I'm not saying they don't have a voice, because they do have a voice. They should have a voice, but they didn't make this.
Yeah.
This was a collaborative effort from many different places, all in this industry, that created this. It was not television on their own saying this is what we should do. That is not how it happened.
They do dictate some things, though. They do dictate our schedule, right? They do dictate sometimes the tracks that they want to run during their. There's a lot of discussion on. There's reasons why dates are getting changed, right?
But that is not. There are not many occasions where a network goes and says we're running this race on this date. No.
Is it
now? Is there a collaboration between NASCAR, the tracks, and television in regard to all the things that factor into making the race happen when it should happen? Of course, of course. But I don't. Certainly NASCAR. Television has a role to play in decisions that are being made.
Can you tell them next year to make the modified race?
I think
different time.
I think at a lower level than people would imagine.
Would it be fair to say TV prefers a playoff system versus the 36 race schedule? 36 race format.
That's a good question. I don't know. I think that there are certainly some people and look, TV is saying TV is the same thing as saying the drivers, right? I would imagine if you've got all four TV representatives in a room, they wouldn't agree on what they wanted, right? I would imagine that would be the case, but I don't know that. I think that probably there's a
Mark's tweet. Oh my God.
It's really bothering him.
Look, man, he's passionate, and when he gets on something, he's on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care if it's cleaning the wheels on the motorhome or like when he's on it, and there's no half mark. There's no half mark. But I would say this. I would say that what television wants is they honestly, from day one when I started working in the industry, they want grandstands full. They want a great at-track experience for the fans. They want a TV broadcast and races that are fun to watch, fun to and Saturday night was a great example. And that's what they want. And I would say that as far as do they want a playoff or not, I would imagine, look, most people I talk to, they are by themselves, not with a group of friends
mob,
or
yeah.
whatever. Most people by far like the playoffs away from their buddies.
Yeah.
When they get in a pack, then they'll be like, well, whatever he said. But when you get away and you say, hey, man, like most people, and it's not even close, like the playoffs, a version of the playoffs.
So, like, I've talked
Do you
about.
agree with that?
Yes, I
I've
agree
talked about
100%.
on here before. I think what we have now, the format this season is the most entertaining because you have your Game 7 moment when we get to Phoenix. It's 4 guys head to head. As somebody that grew up in the sport, my dad raced forever. I personally would want a full season format. But I know that there's got to be a balance somewhere, and I think this is a good compromise where you don't have a 1-race playoff, you have a 4-race playoff. Now, by the way, we're going to go to basically every damn racetrack. We got, I think it's a mile oval, Talladega, Martinsville, and then Homestead. We hit all different racetracks in this. If this is what happens, if we go to a 4-race round, I think it's going to be, for the rumors I've heard, 6 drivers probably. So now you're also guaranteeing the top 3 in points through that second round are going to make it. You're going to maybe have 3 winners, but then the top 3 in the points, you're going to have more guys making it based on overall for that round. But this just seems to me like such a good compromise, and so many people were just going nuts last week. I want 36 races.
Everybody's going to go nuts no matter what.
You're never going to make
decision you
everybody
make. So
happy.
just do it and let's go have some fun. Let's go race.
Why do we spend in this industry? Why do we spend so much time on the negative? I don't understand it.
Misery loves company.
I don't
Yep.
get it, man. I don't understand it. I get that somebody may not like something. Man, that's, you know what? Your opinion is your opinion. We should respect their opinion, right? But I don't understand why they constant negative. Like, it seems like we just try to pull the negative out of something, right? But look,
It's kind of the whole world.
I know, and
It's not just us. It's
nuts.
it's just our bubble,
Nuts.
but it's the whole world.
So what don't you like about the playoffs, right? So let's think about it. Like, if a decision is made to stick with the playoffs, I think generally what people didn't like was that Martin Truex didn't make the playoffs when he finished fourth in points.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you have that good a regular season, you probably should have a chance to win a championship, right? So how do you fix that? Some people don't like the win and you're in thing. I personally like it, and it has nothing to do with Harrison winning a race. Has nothing to freaking do with it. If someone would have won, and they almost did, and knocked him out of the playoffs this year, you know what? You should have won.
Yeah.
Right? But if you have a regular season, if you have a really strong regular season, you should have a chance to get in the playoffs. So how do you keep the win and you're in, but also protect those people that have really good, solid years? And how do you in the playoffs, if fans don't like the fact that Kyle Larson didn't have a chance to win a championship, how do you reward him enough points to make sure that his regular season protects him a little more? Is that something we should look at? So what don't we like? And address those issues and try to make, if you're going to keep the playoff, try to make that better. I think that's the approach. And clearly, or that would be the approach I would take. And clearly, the 1-race thing is controversial, right? So can you add races? How many do you add? What races? I think that if you're going to have races, if it's a 5 or 6 or 10 or 4 or 3, they should be representative of the regular season, right? You shouldn't have too many of something. But if you're going to have a super speedway, a road course, a short track, and intermediate,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
go with that.
And if you look the way it's set up now, every 3 races, how jumbled it gets, right? I do feel that the leader of all years should, like, how it resets,
regular
right?
season.
So if those 4 races are going to be the playoffs, they should go in the way we are setting up
Start.
right now. So the guy that deserves to be ahead enough still has the best chance to win the championship. Now, if he fails twice and that 4th or 6th place guy, whoever they pick, capitalizes on that, well, now we've got a conversation, right? Now you got a person like Denny's up 26, and you know, if you look, Prisco would be 6th, right, going and thing. He's only 16 behind Denny, right? So now all of a sudden, it's a really close championship battle with 4 races remaining. You know, just let them race from that point on. Let's keep doing the same things we we're doing all year. You know, the stages, the fastest lap, all the things. Throw all that in there, and make the teams part of it. Right? Make the teams the thought process and everything that has to do. So I don't like one race because it ruins the consistency for the race team that should have capitalized on winning the championship. You know, the guy that ran the best all year, that collected the most points, he should be going into the championship with that points lead, or that, you know, like Denny is, you know, at this point.
Corey Himes is a good example.
Yes, he should deserve it, right? So, you know, I do think it needs to be changed. Whatever gets changed, it's still going to be fun to watch. So everybody remain calm, let NASCAR make their decisions, and let's go do it.
Yeah. So you stage racing is a really good example, right? So the argument against stage racing fascinates me. You'll have a group of people that say, well, stage racing is just giving something for nothing. Well, what the hell? That makes no sense whatsoever. Like, we literally are saying, like, that point system says the better you do during the race, the more points you're going to earn. If I said to you, philosophically, we're going to pay you more points for how you run during the race. Reward the people that are doing the best. Do you like that? Do you like rewarding people?
Absolutely.
I would say 95% of people would do.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, right? And then stage racing sucks. The same people that say stage racing sucks say they want a 36 regular. So think about this. So
that's why we got Mark on the bench. Look at the poor guy.
36 races, right? We want how you do through the whole year to matter. But that same person will say they don't want it to matter during the race.
Yeah.
Like,
let's just do it. Let's go do it, and let's go do it.
The fact that it's different is what they don't like about
exactly.
it. So I'm all for stage racing, it gives 2 commercial breaks that you don't have to go away from green flag racing. Remember that.
And that's something you always want to about too.
Right.
So.
The number of commercials. So it gives 2 commercial breaks so you don't miss anything, and it rewards the people for doing well during the freaking race. I don't understand how you don't think that's a good thing. Yeah. I don't get it.
I see that all the time.
I respect you if you don't like it. Not saying you're stupid. I'm not saying. I just don't understand.
Like, and it's to you made a great point earlier about, you know, like, especially social media, which we have to engage on social media for the show and stuff. But it's like you see people, and it's like they're rooting for us to fail. And I'm like, I love this sport. Like, I get on here and I get from NASCAR sometimes about being too critical or something. And I said, I've went into meetings with them guys, and I said, listen, the only reason I'm passionate, I love the sport. Like, I'm calling you out because I think what I'm saying is right, and I think this makes it better, or I want it to be the best it can be. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go, you know, I think this is awful. Like but you see social media, and they're you know, the TV ratings were down last week or whatever, and it's just like, I told you so. And I'm like, that's not good. We don't want this. You know, like, I get it. But we need to all figure out a way to lift it up, not just tear it down.
Because it's easy for people to complain than to be positive.
And behind, you know, from a keyboard especially.
Yeah, keyboard
or come
warriors.
up with a solution.
If you have a complaint and don't like something, you should say it, but you should explain why.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why do you really feel?
And have a solution.
Yeah.
Why do you really feel the way you feel? There's nothing wrong with Pat. There's nothing wrong with Mark Martin saying, "I won't."
I think. Look at him. I think he's got something going on right there.
Maybe we should call and check on him.
Yeah. Later, because he's at Bentley's.
I can shoot him a text.
Hey, it's Dale Jr. And for the latest DBC gear, we need you to go to shop.dirtymomedia.com. We've got plenty of options, and we're adding new stuff all the time. Shop.dirtymomedia.com.
All right, it's time for Reaction Theater, where fans can call in and voice their opinions from this weekend's race. Alex, did we do a little better this week in regards to amount?
A lot better in amount, but I think the quality
Still down.
Yeah,
Still down.
How's the
quality.
originality? Do we get any? Was it 75 toaster calls?
No, we have some originality today.
All right, good.
All right, good.
Yeah, that nunchuck, non-driving nunchuck just freaking ruined the damn night. I swear I was having a great one. Damn Cars Tour put on a show, and damn nunchuck just happened to up for all the chase sexuals. What the piss?
Tommy calls Nemechek Numchuck.
Well, I called his old man that. The whole.
I guess did he wreck Chase? I didn't see. I know Chase wrecked, obviously, but was somebody had told me the radio sounded like it was chain reaction.
That was a Bristol get to the bottom wreck. Chase was trying to get to the bottom, filled a hole, came down pretty aggressively, and Nemechek didn't get slowed up. And then
that wasn't. I mean,
then he got run into from behind.
Nunchuck's fault.
That wasn't
little Nunchuck.
They were both going for the same piece.
First of all, there's certain people that if you're gonna do that, they're not gonna lift.
That's one of them.
He's one of them.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't do that to him. You don't do it to Hocevar. You don't do it to Ross.
I mean, he's not going to go, okay, I'm going to pass you later. No, I'm going to get you out of the way. You're going to be done for the day.
Yeah.
That rhymed.
TJ up there with his eye makeup and cool vest should have told him to hit him a little harder. Man, come on, Brad.
That was a weird deal because
He hit him
square, but it was almost like he hurt himself, kind of like he overcharged the corner where he wasn't going to be able to make the corner either. But I felt like when I saw you see him come off the wall, and I'm like, oh, he's got him lined up. And then they really they didn't really move. It was kind of they went up the hill a little bit, but
it's kind of weird. Like with this car, where you hit them matters, right?
Yeah.
And so, at Martinsville, that was probably the right place to hit him. But at Bristol, you needed to get a little further in the corner. I don't know. Don't ask me. I didn't know how to hit anybody and move him out of the way. So I'm the wrong guy to ask.
I think Brad hit him and go, okay, what's he going to do? Is he going to slide the track? Am I going to go underneath him? Is he going to go? I think.
It's like Brad hit him, but then followed him up.
Well, I think he was waiting for the reaction of the 20 car, what to do, and they slowed up, and then it was
took
over.
Off.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you think about it, Brad don't do that much, right? So maybe he just didn't know what to do because he's not that type of race car driver, right?
My wife will always tell me, she said, every time you try to wreck somebody, you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
Just quit trying.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yo, Tommy, I understand that this France family reunion is more important than DBC, but you can't even send in your DBC picks? You'll be getting your ass handed to you the whole year by these random people that Freddie's calling at 2 a.m. What's next? You're going to leave a lug nut off, and when NASCAR tries to penalize you, you're going to make them throw a caution and hope they can't count 5? Like, come on.
To my defense, that was the beginning of the rule. I did try. And I did try calling in.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, timing was not going to work out. But, yes. How was the reunion?
It was good.
Yeah, my text, I wasn't saying I missed you. I was just asking how your family reunion was.
I didn't say you said. I said.
You said, is that your way of saying you missed
no,
me?
And you said no.
Goodyear brought some awesome tires. Goodyear brought some soft-ass tires. Goodyear brought some soft-ass tires. Whoa! At Bristol, baby! Woo!
We haven't had a song in a while.
Big Doors fan, apparently.
Does that count?
It was good.
I didn't know you could sing.
Yeah, that was me last night on the way home from the bar.
Wait, really?
No.
Oh.
Yes. That was,
Damn.
yeah.
Damn.
That was better. We could do better, I think. But there was some originality. At least we didn't have.
I didn't hear a single thing about a toaster.
We didn't have a toaster or Rowdy Nation this week.
Yeah.
Which still Rowdy Nation. They're poor. Which they had
I don't think anybody's even knows he's racing lately.
At least I don't think he didn't spin out this week. That's a start.
Yeah.
I mean, poor Derek was standing next to me last week, and he's like, I don't even know what to think anymore. Like, I just want, are we going to spin out again? Like, what lap are we going to spin out at? And they spun out. I go, hey, it's lap 26. You spun out over there.
To leave an audio message 24/7, you can call our number at 704-802-9572, and we'll play the best ones each week on the show. Ask DBC. You can send in your questions on X using hashtag AskDBC. Mr. Excitement 9 wants to know who everybody's next 4 drivers are to be eliminated in the round of 12. What do you think,
I'm
Freddie?
good with staying the same. We're
how do you feel,
+1.
Freddie? I mean, you guys worked your asses off those 3 races, got so far ahead. Now you're only +1.
Yeah, Bubba did an interview the other day, and he was talking about the playoff format, and he said a lot of the same stuff that Jeff said. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever format they put out in front of me, I'm going out to win every damn race I can win. Like, and if that's how it works out, that's how it works out. But he's like, same thing, basically. I don't care. But he did say, he's like, man, I wish now that I'm up 50, I didn't have to reset points next week. But yeah, I mean, it's the same approach for us. We just go out and run the best we can. I think we have all the potential in the world to transfer again out of this round.
That's not what they asked. They asked who your next 4 out are.
Tommy asked me a question. I don't know if you were listening. Maybe
I wasn't.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to answer this question.
For this one, I think, I'd like to see Reddick get in, but they are just missing a little something this second half of the year. I don't know what it is.
Money.
Money.
They're not getting that purse money.
Open team. Somebody in the top 8 is going to have a problem. I hope it's not us. One of these guys, somebody's going to run into the issue somewhere. What we got? We have Loudon, Kansas. Roval, right?
Yep.
So Loudon's a good track for us. Kansas is a good track for us. So hopefully, and then he's run better on road courses, so we could just hopefully base hit our way back through another round. But I'd say probably the bottom 4 will stay the same. Logano could easily pop off a win somewhere, so it's hard to say that. But I'll take the bottom 4 right now.
And it's tough because Austin's good at the Roval, right? He's a good road course racer. He's New Hampshire package. I think he's good. Reddick's really good at Kansas.
Yeah. And
Joey, like you said, the next 2 is going to be strong. And I mean, if you look at it, who's weak?
Yeah.
Who's weak out of those 12 guys at any, the Roval is going to be the key because I think the first 2 races are going to close this gap up to a point. There's going to be 8 guys. I'm going to call it right now. There's going to be 8 guys going into the Roval that are going to have a chance to go home.
Jeff, how is that to set up? I know you guys do a great job of it on TV, but talk about the Roval especially. When we get there's going to be a lot of different strategies. Guys are going to be flipping the stage to try to win the race. There's going to be guys chasing stage points. How do you guys set that up on television?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to cover. I mean, honestly, but you are focusing on the playoff guys and who's trying to get points and who's not. Through that, guys that aren't in the playoffs use that as an opportunity to try to get a win, which they should. We just cover that, but I think the other thing is we've been talking about tires all morning. There's a new tire at New Hampshire, like a completely different tire. So at the tire test there, everybody said Logano was absolutely flying.
Oh, great!
I will preface that with, and I don't know how many times Tommy's had this situation or this occurrence. There's been many tire tests I went to, and I was absolutely horrible. Went back and had a great run, and vice versa.
Yep.
Like we're gonna kick their ass and go out and run 15th. So I caution a little bit tire testing because when you get there, the weather's different. Rubber on racetrack, and this weekend there's every kind of rubber you could imagine on the racetrack. I don't take that into as big of a count, but Logano was flying at the tire test, whatever that means.
Interesting. Got to wreck him early.
Not supposed to say that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
All right. What kind of shows did you guys see this week? Connor hitting the cameraman one last week with 40%.
It may be the biggest show of the year. First of all, we have a
Really?
clip that the announcer, but the one thing that I will tell you to watch, I will never ever sign up to spot this race, but watching it from a suite is maybe the most entertaining thing you can do. The ARCA race is like multi-class racing. Like it looks like literally you have like the competitive ARCA guys are out there, and then it looks like you have let 10 guys from the Richard Petty driving experience go out and drive around the bottom.
And the Richard Petty driving experience cars.
Yes.
And not even the race cars.
The first guy got lapped completing lap 3.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable. I get it. Like you want to give everybody an opportunity, but like the guy, I think from first to last in qualifying was 5 seconds
What?
at Bristol.
Well, if you add it up, lap 3, that's 15 seconds.
What was the car store this weekend?
Like 4 tenths? 5 tenths?
So I mean, like you just watch, but they throw the green, and then the problem is you can't. My biggest issue is you can't really race because you can't pass anybody because there's always somebody in the way. Like it's just, and they did it. They finally, for the first time maybe in the history of the series, parked somebody for minimum speed because the guy was literally one guy.
That was 5 seconds off. Only one guy. They should have parked half the field. Come on.
I was like, why park him at this point? Like, why are we doing that? But I don't know. Did you get to watch that at all? Or were you there for it?
It's a show.
It is.
It should be
disaster.
nominated as the show.
It might be the show of the year,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, this track announcer losing his mind.
This is good.
We'll obviously post this to our poll on the Dirty Mo Twitter handle. I guess somebody flips over. Kevin Newton flips over. Throttle hangs. He kind of spins out, hits the wall, and the announcer is calling it in live time, and he's like, "We got one flipped over," like expecting a yellow, and then he just berates the race control booth.
Why are you not throwing the yellow? Throw the red! Throw the red! He's screaming it, right? He's like trying to get him to throw the red. He's hot.
You could tell he was almost like they're probably in the booth next door, and it's like he's trying to yell.
That's exactly what I could. Like he's banging on the glass, going, "Throw the freaking red!"
Oh man, that one there is going to challenge our buddy Chris Wright. I think that this
Dark
announcer.
erase?
No, the announcer. Did you see this video? I don't know if I
No.
sent it to you.
Oh, you did, but I can't get.
I know you don't have Twitter.
He doesn't
You're an
have
idiot.
social media.
But you're much better off for not having it. But this guy, it's gonna challenge Chris Wright for show of the year probably. What else? Cars to a wreck. I mean, you guys had a hell of a wreck. Thank God Parker Eatman's okay.
Yeah, Parker Eatman flying through the air. We could nominate that.
That looked like Air Doug might have hung a left on somebody. I don't know if he knew that guy was down there or not.
It started a little bit before that.
Yeah.
Well,
44 got out of
Connor
shape in
got
front of
loose,
it. Yeah.
But you still can't go left when there's a guy next to you.
Yeah, but I think he was busy trying to hold on his ass
Yeah.
too. I mean, Luke and I studied that a little bit. It was kind of like, I don't know whose fault that
Maybe
was.
I don't. It's not really a show, but it was funny. I laughed my ass off. Blaney's nephew getting a hold of a radio might be the top 5.
We need to play that.
We have the audio.
Can we play that?
Yeah,
Let's play.
We have audio.
Hi, Uncle Ryan.
Wait, that was
Dark
on.
caution.
It's not over.
Uncle Ryan. Win this race. Win this race.
So I guess
Hold on.
Get Cody off the scanner.
he's like, Mom.
Hold on.
I think
It's the best at Ryan.
You on a scanner in the bus. Found out how to turn it on. Pretty smart.
You know how cool that is? How Ryan reacted though. It's in the middle of the race. He's probably had 3 tires shredded. He's so pissed off, and I bet you that put him in the best mood for the rest of the race.
I talked to him yesterday because he was talking about me on the radio, and I called him. I said, "What's your problem?" But I said, "How hard were you laughing?" And I said, "I wish we had an in-car camera on you because I can't imagine you're just out there." I think it was under caution.
Yeah, it was.
But like you're just out there rolling around, and you hear this little kid on the radio.
Uncle Ryan.
Could you imagine Harrison getting on the radio like years ago when you were racing?
He would not have liked it when I got to him. I can tell you that.
You wouldn't have reacted like Ryan did.
No, I wouldn't have.
I mean, he's a little kid. I mean, just
I told Fido, I said, "Man, you're getting replaced."
What would happen if you would have done that when you were a little kid?
well, they didn't have radios when I was.
Okay, but if.
I want him to shut up now when I'm spotting for the kids. I
don't talk.
I said, "Dad,
Hey,
get off the
stop.
radio."
Stop! Don't even accuse me. I keep my mouth. I let you do your job. Don't even start.
You do a better. Now, what you're saying outside might be where when you're standing behind somebody.
No,
you know.
no. I let everybody do their jobs.
There's inside voices.
Yeah.
There's inside
No.
voices. That's just.
I learned from a buddy of ours to
Shut up.
Come over the radio.
Jimmy blew it.
Yeah, maybe. He's not happy when he's mad at me.
He's mad at you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the announcer,
the ARCA race in general as a whole,
ARCA.
Blaney's nephew.
That's not a show. That was
what?
Little Blaney.
Yeah, but it's fun, Tommy.
Yeah.
We're allowed to have fun. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
have
don't think
to be
there's anything
fully-
else. Did you see any shows this week, Jeff? Do you
I
have
thought,
anything?
look, when you say show, it doesn't mean it has to be negative.
it's not.
Right, yeah,
it's
no.
just
I thought Saturday was
Saturday night.
a great show. Like I enjoyed it.
Show in the best way.
Yes,
Yeah.
like give me some
we
more.
do have a lot of those good times. Boy, what a show.
Yeah,
Good point,
doesn't
Jeff.
have to always be bad.
Yeah, it's
Some
not
of the
always
best
negative.
moments of my life
Yeah.
were shows.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, good point.
Fair.
Oh yeah.
All
So
right.
those are your four.
Let's add the cup race.
Yeah, add the cup race, ARCA race, track announcer, and Blaney's nephew.
All right, you can go vote for the Show Hall of Fame on our Twitter poll on who you want to see inducted into the Hall of Fame this week. DBC picks. Freddie, you finally won.
Hey, I'm back.
Thank God. Tommy, we're tied now.
I gotta get up there and tie you guys up so we split dinner at least. You're what page are we on, Tom?
Here we go.
It's on this.
Yeah, you do.
Is it flipped over there? Is it over there?
Oh, there it is.
Just use that one until we find the other one. Jeff, you're part of this. You got to pick for the guests.
Yeah.
Basically,
picking.
you got to.
as an analyst, I don't like to pick, but
Shout out to Corey Heim.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah, what,
say-
a P6?
Yeah,
P6, right?
For sure.
yeah,
Him and
Who
Booty.
else, who else a good shout out?
There was a couple I had notes of.
Zane Smith?
Zane
Yes.
Smith.
P3.
yes,
We
for
had
sure,
talked about him.
for sure. They were fast all night. They didn't just pop
Yeah,
up
no,
at the
they were
end.
good,
They
yeah.
ran well all night.
Yeah.
I will say publicly, Todd Gilliland can kiss my ass. He was at the bar yesterday cheering for the Cowboys, who beat my Giants, and
Todd
then
Gilliland seems like he would
just
be a
text
Cowboys
me,
fan.
"How about them Cowboys?" So he
Just
can,
now he
just
did?
now, yeah.
Oh,
so he
boy.
can. He's definitely on my list at the moment.
God, did he win any money off of you on that?
No, I don't know. I was smart enough not to bet on the Giants.
He may or may not have taken some of mine at the golf course last week.
Oh boy.
That's always tough. Who did? John Hunter, man. We gave him on here during the reaction theater there, but that like the last month,
man.
I mean, they have been consistently running well. Obviously, this is kind of a show. He still ends up 14th, but I mean, they've just been super consistent. I feel like
I'm gonna tell you somebody, and this is gonna sound silly because he's a multi-time champion. But if you would have told me Joey Logano was going to finish 5th this weekend, I'd have said there's no way in hell.
Yeah.
They were horrible in practice. They've been horrible there. They haven't run good there at all. I mean, it was shaping up to be a really crappy night, and somehow or another, Joey Logano did Joey Logano things. Yeah. I had no idea he could finish 5th.
Yeah, like he was. I feel like he was when we were running 3rd or 4th at the beginning of the race. I felt like he was going to be like one of the first 3 or 4 guys
he
we were going
was
to lap.
a car away from getting lapped before tire issues.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was struggling for sure.
Who picks first? I don't even know where I finished.
You go first.
You go first, Tommy. And maybe you don't pick, just because I know you got to call the race. So I mean, you can pick if you want to, but maybe we just have Alex take the guest pick this week if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I would rather do that.
Where are we?
I can tell you who, if I was going to pick, I would pick.
Can you text it to me really quick so that because I don't know who to pick.
Yeah, I'll go to Logano.
Damn it! That's who I was gonna pick.
Oh, you want me to pick for?
Yeah, you go for the guest, Alex.
The guest will do Bell.
You.
That was a good guest pick.
You read Jeff's mind.
Damn it.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I guess Austin Cindric. I don't know.
Man, I can't believe nobody's going to pick the hometown boy.
I'm gonna pick him. I think. I don't know if I should.
I would.
I'll take Priest.
I thought Logano was a hometown guy.
Well,
I thought you'd already picked
I thought
his.
you said Brian Priest.
Well, two.
Oh well,
we're still not happy with him.
Yeah, you got to bet with your head, not with your heart. He can still kiss my ass, but I'm going to pick him this week.
Is he a hometown guy like Truex? Everywhere we go in the Northeast,
that's their home track. I would say that's their. Yeah, that's probably, especially as much as he raced a modified. That's probably
Joey's not a hometown. He comes from Connecticut, but he's not.
Yeah, he didn't really grow up racing.
No,
there.
he didn't grow up racing there.
He ran quarter midgets there.
Atlanta more than he did.
Yeah.
I think he ran that Silver City or whatever, him and Ryan together at that quarter midget track. But other than that, they got out of there.
And when they were 4, so.
Tommy, I did want to give you the opportunity. Obviously, Bill Davis passed away last week. You weren't here to talk about it. I know you won. I know he meant a lot to your career and had a big effect on you.
Yeah, he's been unfortunately he's been battling some stuff in the past couple of years, and he I guess you say he went to a better place, man. And Bill and Gail were really tight. You know, they did a lot of things together, and hopefully she's got a good support group in Arkansas. And still haven't heard anything if she's doing anything, but he gave me a shot. He believed in me and let me just go in there and pretty much tear the place up, and had my back, and just said, everyone would complain to him in the beginning, just said I hired him for a reason, because where we were, let him do his thing. We'll see where he ends up. And we put a great bunch of people together and made some magic there with Jeff's brother there, and had some fun while we were doing it. And he got mad at me, got rid of me. I think that was the only time I was ever fired in my whole life, and hired me back 4 years later. Double the pay. I loved it. Rebuilt it again, and that's when he sold it. And actually, if he did not go out of business and sell anything, TBR wouldn't have been in existence, because I took advantage of all the stuff that was there, bought it on auction, made some wheeling dealings with.
What did he call? TBR?
Totally borrowed racing. Yeah.
One of the coolest moments I remember about you and Ward racing, I think it was New Hampshire. You guys were kicking everybody's ass, and you hit pit road before everybody and blocked anybody from getting to pit road before you. And I went, my man is willing to gamble it all to win this freaking race. And that was badass, because the leader normally is like, I'm not going to be the first one on pit road. And then they set themselves up for people jumping them with tires. And that was before we really understood all that. We really weren't that good at it. But you drug him on pit road first. And I remember, my man is committed to winning this race, and he don't mind losing it, trying to win it. Yeah. And that was badass.
Yeah.
It was there or Darlington. I think.
I did it I did at Darlington too. When
Darlington.
it was us in '88, I pitted a couple. I set the tone, right, which everybody does now, right? And then I played the strategy right at New Hampshire because it was probably the start of not wearing stuff. So I got us in position to take advantage. And I think the 17 was good, but he got a flat, and we got by him, and that was it.
Yeah. Speaking of Loudon races, were you managed to stay awake that day? You led every damn lap of this thing.
Yeah, it's funny. They said there was no passing that day. I think there was only 12 cars in the lead lap, so somebody could pass.
Yeah, no kidding. What was that day? I mean, what was like? How does we talk about how hard these races are to win, and then just have that race there? Obviously, it was.
So what's bizarre about that? When I think back about it, is that, you used to get paid 5 points for leading a lap, and nobody stayed out to lead a lap.
Yeah,
and then we never had a bad pit stop. We came in, and I didn't qualify on the pole. I qualified second. And so I beat Bobby to the line to lead the first lap, and almost screwed up one restart. And I still can hear Bobby Hudson, my spotter. He was our shop manager and my spotter. I can still hear his voice today. We had led the whole damn thing, and I bat screwed a restart up, and he says, the tone normally is inside, and this time it was inside, and so anyway, it was I mean, it was one of those days. Look, we worked our ass off to do that. That's what people don't recognize, is that we heard they were going to do restrictor plates. So Frank and I were like, I went to Frank and I'm like, dude, like, this is an opportunity. We're already good there. Let's go bust our ass. And I went to Jack. And I mean, Jack, we're going to go test New Hampshire. I need you to put full effort in. He flew a motor in there. They worked on the plate package. He flew a motor in there. We put the motor in for the reg. It was a lot of effort. It wasn't like he just showed up and, we worked our ass. I went to Milwaukee and tested for 2 days. We put a lot of effort into winning that race. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is like, you can look at stuff and about it and say, oh, this is stupid or this is ridiculous, or you can accept what it is and go to work. Yeah. And that's what we did. And so it wasn't that we just showed up. It was a concerted effort. We put more effort in it there than everybody else.
Yeah. Going there this week, obviously, I feel like we're starting to run all over the place at this place, getting up there, almost like the modified lines nowadays. I don't think, they're not spraying, I don't think, this week. But you talk about a new tire, like, we're not expecting anything like we had Saturday night. Like, this is just a new tire. We're not expecting, like,
we didn't expect it this week.
You're
either.
True. That's true.
No, I don't think we'll get there by any means. But hopefully we see. Richmond was better for sure. That was the best Richmond race we've had in a long time. Richmond's been a struggle for a long time prior to this car. That was the best Richmond race we've had. Hopefully we'll see some more of that, more tire fall off and different varying speeds in cars.
Whatever we do, let's not complain, because New Hampshire's only got one race now.
Exactly.
Right? So
yeah.
Let's make the best of it, learn from it, and keep.
Great race better. Fans up there.
Oh yeah,
I love going up there.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so badass. It's for first day we went up there and ran that Xfinity race. It was immediately you're like, damn, these people love it. It's fun going up there. Food's good too.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas, we're going modified racing, right? With Doug, I just found out today, so that's fun.
And Franklin County.
And then you got the boys at Franklin County.
We got stuff everywhere this week.
Karsyn, we going Cars Tour racing this week?
Nope, it's my birthday.
That's
all I got this week.
When is it? 18th? Is that what
Yep,
you said?
Thursday.
How old are you?
25.
Oh boy,
it's over.
Getting old.
1 foot in the grave.
Like it's time for my quarter life crisis. So
quarter life
crisis.
Yeah.
You planning on going to 100?
Well, maybe. You never know. Bad don't die. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here we go. My goodness. Speaking of bad, how did at Rare Breeds that we've recorded?
Tomorrow's
I've seen some
the day.
clips.
Tomorrow's the day.
All right. Were you excited?
I am excited. I think it'll.
Did you get what was it? First 1,000 followers or something?
Yeah,
I
first
saw?
1,000 followers get exclusive access to it on YouTube before it actually goes live. So
have we hit that mark yet? Or?
Yeah, I know we're really close on Instagram. So
well, if you're not already following,
if you want to see
what
it
is this,
first.
So this was we had a fan stop by from Panama City, Florida. He left us a nice note about how much he enjoys the podcast and everything else, and then he went outside and peed on the bushes. So
they have it on camera.
I'm sure there's cameras here somewhere that he's. I said that sounds like a DBC fan, if I got to be honest. Jeff, for you guys, I mean, I know.
Speaking of that, what do spotters do when you got to pee?
I would tell you, but it's not going to be pretty. No, like I've never had to do it. It's kind of like the race car. You know, they ask the race car drivers a lot of times, like, what do you do? I go before the race, and I've never had an issue going. But TJ literally has to pee every caution, and there's like Bristol's not bad. There's a bathroom right there in the hallway that you can go to. That's not too far away. But there's some of them that you got to go down a couple flights of stairs, and I'm like, I'm just going to be able to hold it, I think. But some of them guys, they're out of there every caution. I'm like, you got a problem, TJ. Like, you might want to check that out. But
TJ's got a lot of problems.
TJ does have a lot of problems. Jeff, as far as Harrison, how far can we take this run? Like, what's their approach? Like, just obviously attack as much as you can and see what happens.
Well, for that team, a small team, the week off helps, right?
Yeah.
It gives them more prep time. It's a big disadvantage, like compared to the bigger teams. It's a big disadvantage getting cars maxed out, and Tommy knows it's the thousandths of an inch to make a difference. So having a week off really helps that team get ready for the next 2 weeks, and so if I don't know, maybe they brought a lot of speed this weekend at Bristol, and if a little bit more prep time helps them going to Kansas, then yeah, they could be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the best compliments you can give somebody, Harrison, is maybe one of the best kids in the garage.
Yeah.
Honestly, just a good kid. I don't deal with him a lot, but every time we've had conversation,
Thank God for his mom.
Hey, it's funny. I ran into Mike Kelly in the garage yesterday, and he looked at me. He says, "There's 3 grandstands up there dented." He said Kim was beating the hell out of the grand. I don't know what happened during the race. Some high pressure moment or something.
Happen.
Kim's always.
He's like, I promise you, there's 3 dented grandstands up there because Kim was on the edge. I was like, well, she's kind of always on the edge.
It was good
that
to
hasn't
see.
changed in a long time.
He had a good run in the late model. Rick wears
Yeah.
late model on Saturday.
Yeah, I
night,
didn't get.
right?
I really don't. I don't know
fourth.
what happened at
Finished
all.
fourth.
Finished fourth.
Harrison drove it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
It was good to see him and Jenna.
Luke ran it on Friday, got it all ready for him, and then Harrison
Are they
did
still
it.
leading owners points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
So that was good for owners points. Okay.
Yeah, they lost a little bit, right? Because the 6 car finished second.
Who won? Caden? Did Caden win?
Caden, yes.
Late model stocks, yeah.
Really?
No, pro late model.
Oh, pros.
No, late
No,
model
Caden
stocks.
won the state. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm getting my names. Both.
Honeycutt.
Keelan.
Keelan
Oh,
won the
that's right.
pros.
Keelan won the pro race.
Yeah.
Caden won late model stocks.
Listen, I'm not just saying this because it's Kevin's kid. That kid is good.
Yeah.
Like, and you see, I was at the Florence race, and he missed a shift or something on the start, and a lot of times that is the pin comes out of the grenade with young kids, and they compound mistakes with other mistakes. He just, all right, I'm okay. I'm 5th, one at a time, drove by everybody to the lead and won the race. And I was like, that is really impressive for somebody his age. I know you get to see it firsthand.
Well, Harrison told me. I think it's Saturday morning. I think he called me and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm driving to go get my ass kicked by a 14-year-old." and I said, "Well, I want you to take a step back and remember that there was a day you were 14 years old kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah.
So remember that when he kicks your ass. Remember what it felt like for them." Yeah, he didn't seem to think that was funny.
No.
All right. Well, Jeff, thank you very much for dropping in. We obviously love to have you at all times.
It's
and
great. It's fun. Enjoyed it.
I
Appreciate
look-
what y'all do. It's fun. It's fun to hear you guys debate and discuss, and it's okay to have a conversation that right. And I appreciate what you guys do because it's we don't always have to agree on everything.
No, that's
but
the
appreciate the conversation.
I wish the world could kind of get that where you can have disagreements and argue with each other, but
We do it all
it's
the
not.
time.
I know. I'm just saying. I do it with you every day. But yeah. Anyway, thank you again, Jeff.
Well, that one likes to argue.
He loves
Yeah,
it.
he just half the time
he's
it's
good
just to
at
get a
it.
reaction
He's
out of
good at
somebody.
it, though.
Thank you guys for listening. We will see you in Loudon this weekend. We're out.
Bye.